Tell me about yourself.
Me, I've recently started tutoring online. I've done some offline as well. I like reading poetry specifically, and I play chess, I watch some Netflix, and I do my nails every day.
What specifically do you like to read?
Poetry, mostly poetry, but if I go to fiction, then I'll read a crime thriller.
Why and when did you decide to become a teacher?
It was in last year. It's fairly recent. Last
Ah, I see.
year, you see, I've always had this desire to help children in some way. And at work, at my client service company, the HR lady said to me that she can see me in a teaching role. This was many years ago, and I didn't understand what she meant until I saw it for myself.
Mm.
I could see that I have the patience, I have the understanding, I have the tone to calm children down and to focus. I can see that in myself, and that's when I decided to do the courses that I started last year.
I see. So you work half time, part time?
Part-time tutoring, yes, I do it in my evenings
Ah.
and on weekends mostly. Yeah.
Can you please tell me what qualifications do you have?
Yeah, sure. I started with a TEFL certificate, teaching English to as a foreign language. That's a 120-hour certificate. And then I did a teaching English to young learners, TEYL certificate. And just yesterday, I did my final assessment for teaching English online certificate. So I've got the three courses. I don't think there are any more that I can do at this point, but I would like to go into a niche which would be special needs, special educational needs children, children specifically with dyslexia and ADHD.
Mm.
So I've had a dyslexic learner before, and it was a very enriching experience for me because I could see how he was progressing. He needed the one-on-one attention. He doesn't do well in a classroom environment.
Mm.
So I needed the one-on-one, and that is what I would like to study for in future,
Mm.
special educational needs.
What are the most important skills and qualities you think needed to be a teacher?
Firstly, you need to have the passion to impart knowledge onto someone else. You need to be able to communicate well. You need to be empathetic. So if someone is struggling, you need to be able to understand how they are feeling and how to bring them back up into learning mode.
Ah.
Um, and also, you need to be able to help, especially children, the younger ones. You need to help them to focus. So that is also another trait that you need. You need to be able to do these things, and to also encourage respect both ways, so that there's order in class. If it's a group session or one-on-one, there has to be order, and because a lesson is fairly short. So a lesson needs to be sequential. It needs to be a warm-up, a beginning, and an end. A good teacher would know that a good lesson plan is absolutely essential as well, because you need to manage your time in classes as well.
Do you have prepared a program for a different level of students?
I actually personalize the plans completely. So if you are a new student, you're coming to me for English, then together we see what you need. Then I
Mm.
formulate a plan specifically for you, because everybody learns differently. We call it learner preferences. Some people would learn better if they are hearing information. Some people like to be physically busy to
Mm.
absorb information. Other people need to, they read, then they absorb better. So one needs to take that into consideration with every learner because everyone's different.
I see. How do you test your students?
I draft my own assessment
Ah,
where I assess the four skills, which is reading, listening,
ah,
reading,
I see.
writing, and all of that.
Okay. What materials do you use for
I
your
use all
lessons?
kinds of materials, all kinds of materials. I use blogs, newspaper clippings, pictures, anything different to make it exciting for the learners because it's going to be so boring if I give them worksheets all the time,
Mm,
stuff to read, and exercises. The activities are colorful in that sense. I'll give them a
mm,
picture to color, a crossword to do, um, and the materials that I use are we call it authentic materials. Um, the blogs, the newspaper articles, and even videos, YouTube videos,
I see.
a
Ah,
song, even a song.
I
Yeah.
see. So song is a very good way to teach English, right?
Yes, yes, I would agree with you 100%.
Yeah, because it's also very good for listening.
Yes. And it's also important when using songs, it's important that the words are sung clearly by the singer. Um, and they need to be able to follow the lyrics along as the singer sings so they can
Mm.
get familiar with the words that the person is singing. And I think it's a brilliant way to assist in teaching English.
You do individual or group lessons?
Only individual lessons at the moment. I haven't yet tried group lessons. I haven't had the chance to, but I'm not sure whether that is what I will be good at. I prefer one-on-one because I communicate better with a single person than with a
Mm,
group. Mm.
mm.
It's just how I'm wired. Um, I think that a classroom like that, six learners or more, should be in person and not online. It's just my view, because
I
then
see.
you'll be able to spend time with each learner, walk to their desks physically, and see how they are progressing. Chat to them. Are you doing okay? What do you need? It's difficult if you have a group session online because you won't be able to do that.
How do you handle students with zero interest in learning, zero interest in English? Do you
Okay,
have this experience?
I haven't had the experience, but I know how to deal with it. There are two things I would do. The first thing is I would explain to them the importance of learning English and why it's such a good idea for them because they will be able to expand their horizons, they'll be able to travel, communicate with more people, that kind of
Mm.
thing. So I'll give them the reasoning behind learning the language. And then, secondly, the way that I would deal with that is by what we call positive reinforcement. I would praise someone else for the good work that they are doing because children naturally want recognition for what their efforts. And if Bruce is the one that's not interested, then I'll speak to Sally, and if she does something good, I'll tell her in front of everyone, Sally, that was a great job, well done, and that inspires learners that are not interested. That inspires them to do
Mm.
better because they also want that praise.
Mm. I see. And what games and activities do you use in your class?
We use drawings and
Ah.
gap fillers where you fill in the missing word. I do phonics for the younger children. So phonics is where you do the sounds of the little sounds that make up words, like the vowel teams. OA is for that sound,
Mm. Mm.
etc. So that is the activities. I would also include crosswords. Kids love that. and they love the drawings and coloring in. That is their favorite. Um, and free conversation as well. And about homework, I always give homework. It's not that I'm strict, it's just that there isn't always enough time in class to do enough, I feel.
Do you get negative feedback and from parents or students?
Not so far. Not so far. But the way that I would deal with it is that I would actually encourage any kind of negative feedback because it'll help me learn. And at the end of the day, it helps me teach better. So if
Mm,
you are a parent and you tell me you don't like this and that, I'll take it into consideration and change my approach to the child. The child benefits at the end of the day.
mm. No,
So I encourage negative feedback so that I can learn and do a better job.
yeah, perfect. And the most funny moment you can remember during your lessons.
Funny moment. I can talk about a young lady. She's 20 years old. What was it? It was just about the nitty-gritties
Hmm.
of a poem that we were working on. And I slipped up. I said something, used my word order wrong in my sentence, and I burst out laughing. And she's a very quiet person. She doesn't talk much, but she burst out laughing herself. But it was about poetry. It was actually a serious poem,
Okay.
and I messed up my wording, and it sounded funny.